Shalom everyone, Shavua Tov, and we are in Parashat VaYehi, which is the last parasha in the book of Bereshit, Genesis. And that means a lot. It means this is a kind of a summary, a conclusion, the bottom line of the whole book of Genesis. And we can see that if you count the verses in the parasha, you have 85 verses that come to the word peh, a mouth. The mouth is Sfirat Malchut, the manifestation. We have 5 books of Moses. What's the name of the last one? Deuteronomy. In Hebrew, Dvarim. What is Dvarim? What comes out of the mouth? The speech, the words. Okay, so the name of the parasha is VaYehi, and he lived. Okay, we're speaking about the death of Jacob. So we have a lot of issues about death, dying, the soul leaving the body, the whole thing of the separation, the process of the... we're not going to go into it because that's a topic by itself, but most of the topics in the Zohar, and by the way, the whole Zohar of this parasha is for 85 verses. This is a whole volume. Wow. Just about Parashat VaYehi. So there's a lot of stuff in the parasha, and we'll try in the short time we have to summarize what's in it for us in this special, very, very, very powerful parasha. Okay? So, of course, VaYehi Yaakov be'eretz Mitzrayim, and it says that Jacob lived in Egypt for 17 years. Okay? ויהי ימי יעקב שני חייו 7 שנים ו40 ומעט שנה. The whole year's lifespan of Yaakov was 147 years. So we have here a division of 130 and 17. 130 years of really tough life, 17 years of good life. The number 17 is Gematria good, Tov, 17. So when we talk about the number 17, it's always kind of like reaching the goal, reaching the purpose. When God created the light, and God saw that the light was good. When Moses was born as the Redeemer, and it says, and his mother saw him that he was good. Right? Now something very interesting. How old, the Torah says, how old was his mother when she gave birth to him? 130. Here Yaakov is 130 when he reaches Egypt and he reaches the good. And 130 is mentioned the first time that Adam, after the sin, he stayed away from Eve for 130 years of contemplation, of finding himself, aftershock, post-trauma, whatever you call it. He came back to himself when he was 130, and then his third son, Seth, was born. That Seth, Shet, is coming from Tashtit, the foundation for all of humanity, which is not from Abel and not from Cain, but from Seth. 130 years has to pass down. So when we say, so those numbers are symbolic to teach us something very important. And let's go about what it is. First of all, as we said many, many times, and I'll repeat because not everybody heard the whole book of Genesis, the study. When you go through the high holidays of Tishrei, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot, Simchat Torah, are an opportunity. It's a new beginning. It's like you get the opportunity to revamp your computer, your life, who you are, what you are, reset the rules, reset yourself. And when those days are over, you need to reenact the rules. A, because you are new, and B, if you're not new, let's say you did not take the opportunity. Of course, you have to reenact the rules because you didn't change. It means you didn't get the rules. So you have the whole book of Bereshit is about learning how to walk. You always start with the right foot, and this is Abraham. What means starting with the right foot is, be kind, share, give. I don't feel like. That's even a better reason why you should do that. Because if you want to walk forward as a human being, you need You need to start with it. And as we said, you open a new business. You want to make a living. The first customer coming in, what do you tell him? Give me your money? No, you say, how can I help you? So you start by that with the right foot, which means you start with, I'm here to serve, to help. But just chesed, just loving kindness, is not healthy. When people try to create this loving kindness, all good, just nobody will tell me no, no boundaries, then you get free love, free everything, and then you become bipolar. Why? Because chesed needs the gvura to balance it. Okay? You need the boundaries. That's what you need gvura for, and that's what you have Yitzchak. So Yitzchak is the left column, which is, I have to think also about me, and I have also to learn to put the boundaries. Juggling between the two is the most important art a human being has to learn. And that's how we come to Jacob, that had the hardest life of them all, but he created that power of balance. But it took him 130 years to correct Adam, to correct Adam's sin, and to make it easy for us. How do you say in Hebrew, humans? Bnei Adam, the children of Adam. What does it mean? Are we talking about genealogy? Or are we talking about we're here as a result of Adam's behavior? Adam started with a sin. We are here to correct that. Each one of us is a subcontractor. We got a little bit of the big picture to fix, but we're here to fix. Asher bara Elohim lasot. We're here. God created this world for us to do. To do what? Fix. What do we fix? The people trying to fix, they fix their homes, they fix their cars, they fix themselves, they work on themselves, they're working on achieving and achieving and achieving and achieving, and what's wrong with me, right? Because there's one thing that is the fixing about, and that was what the book of Genesis was about. One thing. Yes, there is the right column, there is the left column, there is the central column, there is the chesed, there is the gvura, there is the loving and caring, and there is the judgment and putting the boundaries, and is the balance. But all of it is about one thing. We have over here a duel that is happening for all our lives. It's a duel between the soul that wants to connect to the light, and nothing but the light, and the body consciousness. And the body consciousness is all about me, selfishness. That selfishness has a different shape for every human being. You can call it ego, but it's not just ego. It's the word ego is very limited. It's about one thing, as Rabbi Ashlag explained it, it's a desire to receive for the self alone. Now, the body, that's his job to make things slow, to create curtains, to create deterrence, to create mix-up, to create everything possible so reaching good won't be easy. Okay? Why shouldn't be easy? Very simple. In the beginning, we had it all. Everything was there. We got everything, but really everything, in the broadest way of everything. Endless. Each one of us. However, we were created in the image of God, and that means we can't take things just for free. We need to create it. We need ownership. So we needed that world of challenges so we can overcome, and that's the name of the game, overcoming the body consciousness. So that's why when we're talking about, and Jacob lived in the land of Egypt 17 years, why Egypt? Why not another land? Why not Canada? Why not something, why everything has a meaning. And we know that the word Egypt is Mitzrayim. And Mitzrayim in Hebrew comes from the word narrow. What do we say about people? They are locked in the box. They can't think outside the box. What is being confined in the box? That's called Mitzrayim. The word also, trouble, is also coming from the same word, tzarot. Tzara, Mitzrayim, it's the same thing. So when is it that you are in trouble? When you can't figure out what's happening with you. Only when you get out of the box, like we see it so many times with Abraham, with Isaac, with Jacob, with Joseph. They teach us again and again and again, the moment you get out of the box, get out of the confinement of your own body consciousness, poof, a miracle. What's a miracle? Is that ability to ascend above and beyond our limitations. So, what is it we are doing here as human beings? We're not here to eat. We're not here to breed, to marry, to own. This is just a byproduct of the process. There's one process. The process is to break the limitations and to ascend again and again and again, one level after another, from one limitation to another. It's not happening on one spot. Look, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they were righteous people. They were amazing people. Does that mean that because they were set on the way and they went through so many tests and they created a miracle after miracle, everything was great and perfect in their lives? No. A lot of people, they think, you know what? Till now, I had a terrible life. I had a messed up life. I didn't know what I'm doing, and so on and so on. And then I finally got it. I have to be spiritual. I have to study Kabbalah. I have to connect to spirituality, to meditate, to be nice with people, and so on. And that means that right now, everything will become heavenly and easy and nice. No. Why not? The job just started. You just started. You just wasted your time till now. Now you started the job. Now you have to do the work. And what's the work? It's about transforming the body consciousness for me, me, me. And people have different me's, okay? Right. I want it now. I want the pleasure now. I want to get it and forget about everybody and everything else, which was becoming the end. And we have to turn our body consciousness to endless. What I mean endless? That everything you have, everything we have in this physical world must be connected to an awareness of secretary. Which means you have money, use it for others too, not just for yourself. You have a talent, use it for others too. You have time, use it for others too. You have a home, use it for others too. You have a family, use it for others too, which means the moment you turn that, I want, it's finite. How much can you get? Within an instant, it's full. And then and it's not there anymore. What do we want to connect to? We want to connect to the good. What's the problem? The good is endless. We know that in reality, similarities attract. You want to connect to the endless? You have to create the endless within yourself. So when you receive anything, money, pleasure, anything, and you keep it for yourself, you created an end. In that moment, the good is gone. You see people, they're so talented, they work so hard about the talent. They have few degrees. They went to workshops like crazy. They went from this place to another, and they just know so much about. And let's go on and go on and go on and go on, but they never see the real mission. The real mission is to turn the body into endless. How do you do that? You have to funnel the light through the body. That's the only way. And therefore, the Torah is giving us the mitzvot. Shabbat, studying Torah, Zohar, whatever you call it. When one consciousness, I'm doing it to draw the light in, as it says, Hama'or sheba yachziyahu lemutav. The light in it will bring the person to good. As long as we are selfish. Why we're selfish? The soul is not selfish. The body is selfish. The body is screening the good, and that's its job. Till you convert your body. That's a life mission. There's no other mission. This is your life mission. Okay? So, you see people that achieve an amazing body. They worked out so well, and they're not happy. Mm-hmm. Other people, they made an amazing career. They're making a lot of money, and they're not happy. The others, they design the most amazing, beautiful homes. And they have few of them. In Toscana, a penthouse in Manhattan. They have a house in the mountains. They have something in the Maldives, whatever. And they're still not happy. Why? Because this is not what makes you happy. The only thing that makes you happy is when you feel the good, and that is being achieved by transforming your body to serve the light. So, after this introduction, we go to what the Zohar is saying. VaYehi Yaakov be'eretz Mitzrayim. Amar Rabbi Yossi, libo shel Yaakov ra b'nva b'Mitzrayim. There's a whole story about it, that Jacob achieved a level of prophecy in Egypt that no one achieved but him and Moses. Where did Moses achieve that level? Also in Egypt. Mm-hmm. The Zohar is asking, why in Egypt? So you have to understand that Egypt is a concept. Each one of us has his own Egypt that he was born into. So what the Zohar is saying, that when Joseph achieved that level of prophecy, and then we read later on, let's see, we have there's a life of Jacob. Finally, he's sitting comfortably, the whole family around him, everybody is secure, everybody has food, everything is great, everybody studies, Joseph is running the kingdom of Egypt, and he's happy. He's okay. He's alive. He's alive for the last 17 years of his life. Okay? And then it says, the days of Israel came to die, which means the whole light of his life is going to be manifest right now. When a person of that magnitude leaves, it's like all the light he revealed all his life is revealed on that moment. And he calls Joseph and he says to him, I want you to promise me, to give me a vow, that I'll be buried in my father's place of burial, Me'arat HaMachpelah. Don't leave me here in Egypt. He doesn't want them to make him a god. And he wants, to go back home. But that's one story. And then he says to him, and then there's another story later on. It's being said to Jacob that Joseph comes to visit because he was sick, because he was kind of showing the signs he's going to leave. And then Jacob says to Joseph, some stuff I don't want to cover all of it, but he says your sons, Ephraim and Menashe, will be like Reuven and Shimon, which means each one will become a tribe. Okay? And that's what's important. After they have a discussion and think, there are lots of prophecies in this parasha. The Zohar is so thick. Okay? And then he says, he's giving the blessing to the sons of Joseph. And this blessing becomes the basic when the father gives a blessing to his sons, usually Friday night after Kiddush. This is what he starts with. And he says, Hamalach hagoel oti mikol ra. You can find in Genesis 48, 48, verse 16. Hamalach hagoel oti mikol ra. The angel that redeems me from whatever is evil. And the Zohar explains Malach, when it's an angel, the angel, speaks about the Shekhinah, the divine presence. Yevarech et hanarim, will bless the boys. V'yikarei b'hem shmi v'shem avotai. And my name and my fathers will be called upon them. Avraham and Yitzchak. V'yidgu larov b'kerev haaretz. And they will multiply like fish in the earth. So we have so many messages delivered over here. We know that fish are a symbol for a blessing. Mm-hmm. Why? A, they are covered from the eyes. Okay, they are in the water, which means the water, we know when somebody wants to purify himself, he goes into the mikveh, right? Can you imagine that the fish lives, grows up in the mikveh all his life? Okay, so that's really like a kind of protection from anything negative and evil. So he gives a blessing, and also, if we know that the 12 sons of Jacob, or the 12 tribes of Israel, a symbol or chariots to give us the ability to overcome the 12 signs of the zodiac, Menashe and Ephraim, what sign are they connected to? Pisces. Oh. The blessing of the fish. And we know that Pisces is the only month that sometimes becomes 2. Adar 1 and Adar 2, correct? And what's the sign of Pisces? 2 fish, right? Menashe and Ephraim. Okay, so there's a lot of secrets over here, but we can't cover all of them. But we can cover the whole thing that after that, after he anoints, like Jacob is anointing the 2 sons of Joseph as tribes, and then he says, he calls all his sons, that's chapter 49, verse 1. ויקרא יעקב אל בניו ויאמר האספו ואגידה לכם את אשר יקרא אתכם באחרית הימים. Gather around me, and I will tell you what will happen to you in the end of the days. You read the story, you can't see any stories about the end of the days. What happened? So there's a very, traditionally, there are many discussions about what does it mean, the end of the days. And here we have one of them. It's like the general one is that when the moment and we'll see the Zohar says it. The Zohar says, VaYehi Yaakov, Amar Rabbi Yossi. Rabbi Yossi said, Libo shel Yaakov ra b'nvuah b'Mitzrayim. When all the tribes came and he said, I'll give you the prophecy of what will happen to you till the end of the days, basically. He saw already that all the exiles and all the calamities that are going to happen to his sons and the nations that will come out of his sons. All the exiles. שעד עתה ועד הקץ והזמן וביאת המשיח. Till the end and the coming of the Mashiach. What's the problem? Says the Zohar, the moment Jacob saw all of those exiles, he became sad. And what happens when you become sad? You lose the prophecy. You can't have prophecy and be sad at the same time. It doesn't. So he forgot everything. That's what they say. But we know that's much deeper than that. And what basically is, we know that basically that had to be hidden. That had to be concealed. So when you read the Zohar of Parashat VaYehi, you have the prophecies of the coming of the Messianic age. You have them being explained over there, but all of them through the blessings that Jacob is giving to his sons. Why is he giving them the blessings? What for? Let's see. ולא הגיע יעקב אל הנבואה של VaYehi אלא במצרים. That prophecy is called VaYehi. VaYehi means and he lived. But that's much deeper than that. He reached that level only in Egypt like Moses. Only 2 people arrived to that level. What does it mean? And he says, והיא נבואה חשובה, it's a very high level prophecy, שלא התנבאו כמותה ולא הגיע לשום איש מבני הנביאים, אלא לא על משה בלבד. Only him, Jacob and Moses arrived to that special level. במשה כתוב כי לא יראני אדם וחי. When Moses has a revelation, he's asking God, show me. And God said, a human being cannot see me and stay alive. But that's a game of words. Chai. You know what chai means? Chai is living. It's the energy of life. That's a power of life. Okay? Yaakov כתוב, VaYehi Yaakov. Here is chai and here is VaYehi. Same word. What is that? Why? Because when we are talking about levels of perception or levels of existence, whatever we're talking about the Sfirot, everything starts with Sfirat Keter. And what Keter means, Keter is the crown, but Keter in Hebrew means also the seed, the cause of all causes. Okay? And what is the cause for everything? Is the will of the Creator to share the good with us. The second level is Chokhmah, which is somehow translated as wisdom. What is that level? If the will of the Creator was to share, Sfirat Chokhmah is that sharing already happened. Kulam bechokhmah asita. You created them all in Chokhmah, which means all of the creation was already there in its complete beauty and completion in Chokhmah. So what do we look at Chokhmah? We look at the level of Chokhmah is the level that everything is already there, all the fulfillment. So we're not talking about wisdom of information, because you can have people that learned a lot. They didn't collect money. They collected titles. So let's say they have a title in philosophy and a title in medicine and a title in physics and a title, and they really have a lot of wisdom. And you look at them, something is missing over here. And the sages are saying, how do you know the person has real wisdom? Chokhmat Adam ta'ir panav. A person's wisdom will make his face shine. So you see people that have a lot of degrees and they know a lot, and you interview them and they're all grumpy and sour and so on. That's not wisdom. That's not wisdom. And you see people that simply have the ability to figure things out. When is the wisdom shining through them? It's not the collection of information, although having information is very important, because lo am haaretz chasid ve'en abur yerechet, being ignoramus, you go nowhere. But when you turn the wisdom, the knowledge into an application, how do you apply it? You use the wisdom in order to do what? To turn your body consciousness into one of sharing. How do you know? The light shines from you. So let's explain it from another place. That energy of life, which by the way, the Chinese call it chi, and the Japanese call it ki, okay? But we call it chai. Very similar, okay? That's a life force of everything. That is the level which is called Sfirat Chokhmah. What is Sfirat Chokhmah? Is not just the knowledge, it's a life that is within that knowledge. Let me explain what does it mean. Every person, every soul, was created with all the light that the Creator had the intention to give to. In Keter. In Keter was the intention, Chokhmah is already the happening of it. We have all of that light. Okay? The problem is, can we access that light? So here the Zohar has an amazing explanation that it's all hints about what's really happening over here. So we'll see. When Jacob is starting to bless his sons, who does he bless first? His firstborn, Reuben. Yes. And Reuben, what's his name? Re'u, see. And what is the part of the body that relates to Chokhmah? Eyes, sight, seeing. Whenever you talk about, how do you call a prophet? The seer. The seer. Okay? So here when we talk about that, let's go to the blessing of Reuben. After he says, I'm going to tell you all what will happen to you till the end of the days. And then on chapter 49, verse 3, Reuven bechori ata kochi v'reshit oni. Reuven, you are my firstborn, my power, my might, and the beginning of my force. Yeter s'et v'yeter oz. Your behavior is like Cain. Cain could have been so great. He turned the power he had and messed it up. You have the same kind of power. Cain lost the gifts. Why? Because he sinned. He got upset about his brother and about God, and he killed his brother. He lost the opportunity. He had to come back in many lifetimes and into many souls till he fix it. Reuven is the same story. He's the firstborn. And again, Yeter Set Ve'Yeter Oz, it's the same words that God said to Cain. But here says the Zohar like this. Amar Rabbi Yehuda, Ma Yaakov latchil b'Reuven. Why did Jacob start with Reuven? Yatchil b'Yehuda, let him start with Yehuda. Yehuda achieved a level of the leadership of all the tribes. And that's why King David came out of Yehuda. And Yehuda was, because of that, when the camps of the tribes were walking in the desert, Yehuda was walking first. And he's the king. But we see, he says, you are my first might, but you lost it. You lost the power. You misbehaved. Pachaz kamaim al totar. You were quick as water, and your power was not left with you. Okay? And what does it mean? So he didn't bless him? It sounds like a curse. Elavadai bercho, of course he blessed him. It's his son. A whole tribe came out of Reuven. Elavadai bercho, of course he blessed him. Ve'alta habracha limkoma, and the blessing went up, ascended to its place. Mashal adam shaya lo ben, like a person that had a son. כשהגיע זמנו להסתלק מהעולם, בא אליו המלך. When it was his time to leave, came the king and said, כל ממוני יהיה ביד המלך שמור לבני. So the man said, the father, all my possessions will be kept in the hands of the king for my son. וכשיראה המלך שבני ראוי לזה, and when the king will see that my son deserves it, he will give it to him. כך אמר יעקב, so said Jacob. ראובן, you are my firstborn. אהוב ליבי אתה, I love you. You are the beloved of my heart. אבל הברכות שלך יהיו ביד המלך הקדוש עד שיראך ראוי להן. But your blessings will be in fiduciary, in the hands of the holy king, till you deserve them. לפי שהלכת עם אפך, because you went with your anger. Okay? Because you did not take control. What do you mean you did not take control? So we all have that problem. One time we let the body desires of food to take over and we just mess it up. Another time it's being upset and angry. Another time it's being hateful. Another time it's about, we have all kinds of desires. We have a whole show of desires on the stage of our mind. And they just go, and each one of them has a role. And all of these roles take us away from what's ours, that life force. So each one of us was given endless, unlimited life force of Chai. The life force of Chai. It has everything. It's the ability to do everything. But there's a little problem. In order to draw that fiduciary and to release it so we can use it, we have to do one thing. We have to turn the body into our servant. We have to turn it into a servant for what? For the spiritual goal of the person. To serve a way to share with others, to care for others. The moment we remove that, for Jacob it took 130 years. Do we need to go through 130 years to do that? No. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they were the pioneers. They set the way. They were the prototype. We don't have to start from the point, as we said many times, from the point they started. They had no idea. They paved the road. They blazed the trail. They created the path. Now, I don't have to write the program all over again. I just need to connect to them and to continue from where they left it. Still, we all know it's not that easy. But here what it is. The whole thing that Parashat VaYehi is about, look to each one of us. You see, there's a whole treasure of life waiting for each human being. This treasure of life is the power of endless wisdom, prophecy, superpowers of everything, the fountain of youth. All of it is encompassed in one thing, which is called VaYehi. All of it. You just have to do one thing, to release what is yours and to make it work and flow through you to the rest of mankind. Which means just overcome the screening of the body. And the body is screening pain, hatred, blame, all kinds of whims and desires and being righteous, but I'm right and they're wrong. All of those thoughts and emotions, this is desire to receive for the self alone. You can't have access to the treasure, to the fountain of youth, to the power of superhuman. Why people go to all of these movies about superpower, superhumans? Because in each one of us, there is a superhuman that can prophesy, heal himself and others. We all have that abilities. We are all magicians in training. But we have to do one little thing, is to go through that limitation of the body and to understand there's nothing else. You're not here to be right, as we said so many times. We're not here to be pious. We have simply to turn every desire of the body into serving the purpose. What's the easiest way to do it? Standing one foot, love others as you love yourself. Use whatever you got to serve others. Don't serve others because, that's a religion. I'm serving others because by that I'm transforming my body to serve. You have a talent, use it for service. You just step up for that service and don't say, but God, I suffered so much, I went through so much, I deserve already to have a great life. Everybody who goes through hardships becomes better. A lot of people become bitter, negative, upset, blaming. Did you ever see happy, blaming people? Impossible. Did you ever see happy, selfish people? No. Did you see ever happy, angry people? No. People that just do whatever they feel like and they don't care about any rules and boundaries. No. You have to transform, like educating your child. It's like educating your body. But not just bringing the light in, that every time we do that, forcing the body to serve others. Somebody comes and asks for a favor. I'm just like, I just have my 5 minutes off. Are you at service? And how do they know just to call or to come just in that moment? They just say, finally I'm going to rest right now. No resting time. And how do I know it's exactly on the right time? Because you get upset about it. Who's got upset? The soul or the body? The soul, the body, right? I want it so much for myself. No, you can't have it. The fact that you're upset, it means that you need to be what? You need to be trained. You have to go on training. How do you train? You feel like having it for yourself. No, it's time to share it. You want to eat the piece of bread and then somebody comes, is so hungry, and you're not so hungry, but you love that bread. It's a special bread. You bought it in a special bakery. You thought that the whole day you were working hard, you have this little piece of bread, sandwich waiting for you. You're not dying of hunger, and that guy is hungry. You tell your buddy, you know what? Be nice. Like somebody knocks on the door, a poor person, and the mother gives the child, take some money and some food and give it to him. And he's so excited about it. You tell your buddy, you see, it's your moment. It's your moment. You take your bread and you give it to that hungry person. Anybody? No, but I want to. That's exactly why you should do that. If you do it from a purpose of religion, that's going to make you sour. The Zohar says, now you think you're entitled to get all kinds of stuff from God. Health, children, money. You're not entitled for anything. You're doing that for one purpose. Look, Rabbi Ashlag is asking this a very important question. How much is the Creator? How much did He already give to each one of us? Endless. Okay? Each one of us has an endless light of all kind of fulfillment and wisdom, everything. Chokhmah, everything waiting for each one of us. And what do you have to do for that? Oh, you have to work. Okay, you have to keep Shabbat, you have to, give tithing and stuff like this. And Rabbi Ashlag is saying, you know what? 70 years, you'll be very religious. You'll be even a nice person, you always give charity. And so, and what do you get in the end of 70 years? Today, the average is, let's say, 80-something, okay, in the West. Okay, so it's between 80 to 90. Let's say you lived even more. But, in the end, what do you get? The endless? Can you wait? It's like, you walk down the street, somebody says to you, oh, can you please, young man, do me a favor and help me lift my groceries into the car? And you do that. Oh, I can't, I owe you so much. Here's a check. And you look at the check, $1 million. Is there any oh, but you worked for it. There's no bread of shame. Of course there's bread of shame. Because for helping somebody with a grocery, getting $1 million, there's no, it's free. There's bread of shame. Same thing over here. Let's say you work so hard. 70 years, 80 years, 90 years, to do all what religion tells you to do. You know what? Not one lifetime, 10 lifetimes. And you get in the end what? The endless. There's no relation between the work and the reward. You still, if you get endless, how much of it did you pay for? Nothing. Nothing. So Rabbi Ashlag, so you still have the same problem of bread of shame, of receiving all of that bliss and power for nothing. Or you realize that the only work we have to do is to use the Shabbat and the study of the Zohar and the Torah and charity and helping other people for one purpose: to train your body, condition your body, enlighten your body to be of service automatically. Only when you transform your body from desire to receive for the self alone to desire to receive for the sake of sharing, now you have what? The endless. And there's no problem having the endless, because whatever of the endless you get, it's not for you. It's for others. I'm just a conduit. I'm just of service. And then you're standing like Moses in front of the Red Sea. And you scream to God, and God says, what do you want from me? Split the Red Sea and go. And Moses, I can split the Red Sea. God said, you have the powers. You and the whole nation, you can split the Red Sea. What did I create all of this for? So you can control it. Why are you supposed to study Kabbalah? Just to know all the angels and stuff like this? Oh, because it's very interesting. No, so you can use it. So you can use it. And there is one goal, and that goal is achieving prophecy, achieving, ability to see stuff, the ability to heal yourself and others. It's all for one purpose. The Creator gave it to us. It's all waiting for each one of us. We just have to remove the body, consciousness, not remove, transform it. Transform it. Not getting rid of it. Oh, you have to get rid of your ego. This is so stupid. If I have an ego about it, I am very good carpenter or a chemist, it's a gift I got. I have to harness it, not to get rid of it. Harness it. You're so good at something, it's a gift. What are you doing with it? This is a gift that we give, as the Zohar says, the whole world is divided to all kinds of people. They're stupid and they're smart people. They're rich and they're poor. Why? So the rich people can share with the poor. And the poor share with the rich, because the rich, without the poor, the rich have nobody to share with. So the smart people can teach the stupid people. And by this, the stupid people are sharing with the smart ones, because if you're smart and there's nobody to tell your wisdom, so what do you need all of that information for? And this is what humanity is about. So each one of us got something that others did not. So when we realize that we have to apply it for sharing it with the people who didn't get it, and they will apply what they got to share with us. And that's how the Baal Shem Tov said, how do we know Messiah has come? Everybody is working and busy doing their job. So simple. On the other hand, we spoke about prophecies. I want to know the prophecies. When Mashiach is coming? When is the Messiah coming? Let's read the Zohar, VaYehi. Just, Shaul said, in all the prophets are here. And the Talmud is saying, Tipach rucham shel mechashvei kitzim. Which is like cursing all the ones who are trying to figure out when Mashiach will come. Did you hear once in a while? The end of the world will be in, and they give a date, and they make a whole cult of it, and they raise money for it. There's one thing. If you are trying so hard to find when is Mashiach coming, it's because of one reason. A, I have to pay my debts. I have to achieve all kinds of stuff. If Mashiach is coming in 2 days, why should I bother? Right? And that's why everybody's trying to find a date very close, so you know. And another thing, if Mashiach is coming, why should I bother fix myself? No, it doesn't work this way. Mashiach is coming when everybody's starting to realize that when you really work hard and you go through all of these hard moments, this Egypt of being in a dungeon, being locked in, can't figure out, and you ask yourself, it's not fair. Why is it so hard? Why do we suffer so much? Why is the pain so big? Not mine. Other people. I see so many people going through pain. Where's the justice of it? So we know there was a very famous debate between the school of Hillel and the school of Shammai. Hillel said it was good, tov, that a human being was created. And Shammai said it was not a good idea. Look around, there's so much misery and suffering. And you know what? If we were not created, we won't be sorry about it, because we won't be here to be sorry about it. And there won't be so much pain and negativity and despair. For 2.5 years, they were discussing this issue. And finally, they came to the resolution that everybody agreed. Hillel, the whole school of Hillel and the whole school of Shammai. And it says as follows, Tov la'adam shelo nivra. It was better, the human being was not created. However, aval, mishenivra, lo notar lo ela lefashpesh b'ma'asav. Okay, we agree. If you are entitled to the opinion saying it was a bad idea to create mankind. However, we are already here. So this philosophical issue is not even going to help you, because you can't tell, God, I don't think it's fair, get me out of this story. You can't. Mishenivra, the only way to get out of here is transform your body and reach that light that is waiting for you. And don't ask why, and it's not fair. It's not going to help. It's not going to help. The only way to do it is simply, don't ask, when is Mashiach coming? Maybe in 2 minutes, maybe 2 days. Okay, you should always think it's going to be tomorrow. You know? Are you ready? Did you finish all your workout, for tomorrow? Get going. Get going. What are you waiting for? That's the only way to get out of it. Which means complaining is just delaying the recognition that what can I do? I have to do it. Blaming is accepting another God. And then, which means also when you blame somebody, it means you're not doing the job. When you hate somebody, you're not doing the job. When you're in despair, you're not doing the job. Finally, sooner or later, you'll have to do it. Okay, you'll die, you commit suicide, whatever. Some people do it. They simply get sick and despair, and they get old, and they stop trying. You come back to the same position of despair, and you have to choose. You have to choose life. Until you come to that moment that you have to choose light, you didn't even start the job. So finally you choose light because choosing death is so painful. So you choose light. And you start taking responsibility. And you start to take responsibility for your emotions and your feelings and your behavior. And whatever happens to you, because whatever is happening to us is good. How come? It's happening to us. You know, you say something insulting to a group of people. Each one of them will be hurt differently. Mm-hmm. Some of them won't be hurt totally because they won't even think about the choice, even it won't be an option to get hurt. So it's not about what you said. You're simply giving each person, you know, who said it? I gave them the hell, but they said I gave them the hell, I just told them the truth. Right? It's not about other people. It's why did the creation, the system, send that event to me? Why did I react the way I reacted? And how do I use that to do the job? Which to take responsibility for my reaction, for my emotion, for all what came out from me. And how do I turn it again as a light thing? And that's transforming the body and using it. So VaYehi is a summary. Now that you got it, the work is just starting. How do you know? The next parasha is Shmot. And Shmot is the opening for the 6 weeks of Shovavim. Shmot va'era bo beshalach ito mishpatim, which is the Exodus. Now you got it? Now you do your Exodus, your own private Exodus from Egypt. It's all in the month of Capricorn, Tevet. It's all about one thing. Getting the good that you lost. How do you write Tevet? Tet, Bet, Taf. Some sages say there's a Vav that was lost. Tovot. If you put in the Vav, you get Tovot, goodness. This month, it's all about the goodness. But in order to get to the goodness, you need to take upon yourself the responsibility to pay your dues. And which means we take responsibility for your own Egypt. Create your own freedom from your own Egypt. Then all of that light that is waiting will be revealed as a fountain of youth. Those forces that will come through each one of us will be unbelievable. They're just waiting for each one of us. Just waiting. Thank you so much. And good luck, Batzlacha, to each one of us.